I'm Kai Pfaffenbach, working for Reuters about 17 years. It's my fourth World Cup, and I'm coming from Germany, following not the German team, just being part of a pool team here in Joburg during that World Cup, and covering like 15 games in the first round, and then we go in the knockout phase. And I'm really looking forward to see my German team going through at least until to the semis. And this was the first goal of the World Cup, shot by a South African soccer player, as they were kind of the underdogs against Mexico. This is for the country definitely a historical moment. I shot it on a Mark IV on a fisheye, and this specific crop of the picture is just really a tiny bit, because the fisheye was positioned in the middle of the goal, showed the whole goal, and this is just a tiny right corner basically, but it's the right moment. You have the Mexican goalie lying there, and you have the Zalalaba running past him, celebrating his goal, the opening goal in the opening match of the World Cup, and the technique we could use, and it's just absolutely perfect. Because in the old days, you always had to go to the camera during halftime or after the match, then chimp through your card, and then you send the images you want to your editors. But this is now a time advantage. When the goal is scored in the 70th minute, until you get there, it's half an hour, and it's live. And this is really, really reliable. It's not like that it maybe works or not. It always works. We set up about 20 cameras so far for the remotes, different games. And all the time it worked absolutely perfect. The editors have live, they know exactly when the goal gonna happen. They look into that window of the specific photographer who set up the camera. This is all arranged before, and it's going through on top quality, which is really, really a great achievement. And yeah, this picture actually was quite nice, because this Cahill was like high up in the air, and Schweinsteiger, which was the star of the German team in the midfield, just took him on his right shoulder. And it's a lot of action, and it is a good example how precise the camera actually works these days. I think this World Cup is not only about soccer. It's something very, very special. When you go through the streets and you see the people, and you talk to people, and you come to the stadium and you see these South African supporters here, for them it's a great gift. All of the people are very grateful to Nelson Mandela, because he obviously played a very, very big role to get that World Cup on the continent for South Africa. And that is why everybody was holding placards during the opening game. Thank you Madiba, and thank you Tata, which are his nicknames. And I've found this is absolutely a picture you have to have, because it tells how grateful people are here and how important his role still is in this country. You know, the PNR picture was shot in the opening match, South Africa against Mexico. It was hard to photograph, I have to say, because it was very, very fast possessioning. It's not like that you get these great tackles like you did in the old days of football. It is really tricky. It's a lot of two men and a ball, and this was quite nice, because he really eyed the ball, his eyes wide open. The Mexican guys stepped back not to foul him. I think I shot the whole game on 2000 ISO, 1000 of a sec, 2.8. That was the main setting for that night, and it's incredible when you look at it and you can pull out the picture and you see it is pin sharp. The quality is like about using 400 during daylight, which is really amazing. The new Canon 70-200 2.8 is absolutely pin sharp. It's remarkable quality on what you can get out of it. And then with the EOS-1D Mark IV, it is like the color is really, really nice. It is always sharp. The autofocus is following the way you want to have it. It's not going left, right, up, down, whatsoever. It's really following the things you set into the camera and said, okay, I want to have it following fast or moderately fast, whatsoever. And it's exactly doing what it's supposed to do. Was North Korea scored like in the very last minute their goal against Brazil. They lost 2-1, and I was on a straight 400. Actually, in this range, I should use a 70-200, but it was so packed of photographers, there was no way I could grab the camera actually and get it in position, so I decided to stay on a 4, which made a beautiful jubo picture. And the best thing is about, it was pin sharp, it The autofocus picks up very, very quick, stays where you want to have it, and it was absolute, even if you just try to compose a picture because the guy's a little bit on the left of the frame, and it works absolutely fine. It is sharp, you get all these emotions into it, and that was actually great because he was celebrating that it was a winning goal, but for them it was just a 2-1, and they realized, okay, there's only 1 minute to go, there's maybe no chance to draw that game. But still, North Korean team was so cheerful and so happy about scoring against Brazil. That particular game, Brazil against North Korea, it was so cold I actually had to shake my upper body a little bit and looked left, right, and then I just turned right and I saw this really huge World Cup trophy somebody built up, and it was quite funny because you could see the guy was wearing gloves and the people having thick winter jackets on around him. And it's really just basically like flying through that crowd or standing out of that crowd, the big trophy, the symbol where everything here is all about at the moment. The thing about this picture is it's basically the two key figures of that match. And in the old days, I did not shoot much action on a 70-200 or on a 135. It was mainly for goal action and celebration when people run close to you. But with this new 70-200, you're really capable to do so and shoot action, and actually it produces nice images. It's completely different. Before that, you always were going for headers and tight stuff on long lens, but this actually is now picking up the action very fast. Autofocus stays where it's supposed to be. The lens is pin sharp, the quality is there, and you can use it. You can actually create new kind of views on soccer action, which was not possible before. Using the EOS-1D Mark IV, for me, after setting it up, this camera is doing what I want, and this is what a photographer needs most. You really have to say, okay, this is my equipment, I want to switch it on. You have the settings in your camera, like everybody has his special arrangements and favorites when he starts his camera, and then you know, okay, this is gonna work the way I want to have it. And those cameras definitely do it. Absolutely. They did not let me down since I used them the first day.